Have you seen this? This changes everything! Hello and welcome to Bish's RV, everybody. My name is Josh the RV Nerd here in my hometown Coldwater, Michigan store. And obviously, I'm excited about this one, and I am very pumped to see what you think about it. This is the new 26M Redhawk, and it's a power Murphy bed, which is just getting my goat for some reason. I think it's because, I've been wanting someone to do a good Murphy bed in slides for a while. Now, like, leisure travel has certainly done some of those for a long time in, like, the B market. But in the conventional Class C market, I just haven't seen a lot of it done very well. This is one of the first excellent executions I feel I've seen. It's great because this thing's less than 30 feet. Heck, it's less than 29 feet tip to tail. It's like 28.8 or something like that. But it gives us the benefits of like a 32, 35-foot RV in a smaller package. And really about the only downside of this one is that you just don't have a lot of privatized sleeping. But I could see this working just fine for solo, for couples, for a small family. Being a Jayco, it's got the best warranty you're going to find out there in the motorized market. I'm not really aware of anyone else in the common Class C market matching or exceeding that. But you've also got like best-in-class tow ratings. You got best-in-class bunk ratings in that forward cab sleeper. New updated infotainment center in the driver's cab area. This excellent travel access like you would think on most Murphy bed or most motorhome models. But I will try to tell you the good with the bad as we go through this video. Like, one of the things that I found is that you cannot use the Murphy bed in transit with the slide closed. It just doesn't quite clear. But showing you that stuff so that you know exactly what you're getting for your money here, that's what I want to do. Now, I'm right in the driveway. Someone wants to go past me, so I'm going to get started on the inside of here so I don't get squished like a grape. In the meantime, though, as we go through this, let me know what you like. Let me know what you would change. And if you appreciate how we take the time even to close the slides up, all that good stuff, make sure you hit that subscribe button and let's get started. First of all, just giving us a frame of reference, walking from the back to the front, giving you that entry door and the cockpit area to help you kind of get your bearings here. Before we get too far along, first things first, there's something I have to do. I love my job. But we will make our way back up to the cab area here in just a second. First of all, like if you're sitting in the driver's seat and turn around or you just peek over your right shoulder, this might be what you see. Except when I stood up. If you're seeing this while you're in the cab area, you're effectively out of the driver's seat, and hopefully you've got Elon Musk Tesla autopilot guiding you on your adventures down the way. Now, of course, we're a carpetless, ventless flooring system. That is really almost the default standard in anything motorized anymore. Similarly, we have a 7-foot ceiling for some amazing overhead clearance in there. That's going to be very handy once we get to the bathroom area if you're a little bit taller like me. I want to dive into some of the more interesting details, though. Interesting to me, anyway. I love that accent, Ashoka Tano white lightsaber glow beam right above the slide fascia right there. I prefer that over the disco blue myself. I know some people really like the blue lights. I prefer white. I'd be interested, potentially if a manufacturer could come up with some kind of RGB lighting system, like, those multicolor, like, disco lights that go on under awnings and stuff like that. I think something like that might be very cool with a little remote control, but I also think most of the time I just leave it on white light mode and not worry about it. Now, you might notice your seatbelts here. A cool thing with Jayco, they're very concerned about family safety on the road. Every one of these seatbelts rated for 10% more than it is federally required to be rated for. And the RV industry finally starting to include some car seat anchors, like you see hidden behind that cushion right there. That is something that the industry as a whole had just been deficient on for a long, long time. And there's a cab area there that I just stepped down into and just about gave myself a heart attack. Now, notice we're looking at the dual central ACs on this one. That's not something you find in every one of these coaches, but also this living arrangement back here. This is that Murphy bed, and it's a power Murphy. We're going to get a look at that in action in just a minute. First of all, though, you're actually going to get a look at me in action with my reflection in this giant Insignia 4K HD TV. And I mean, if you want, if like I'm nearsighted and I could take out my contacts and I could easily read the fine print on this screen, you are all up in this thing's face. Down below, of course, we have that electric space heat and Tootsie Toaster right there, taking the nip out of the air for us if it is a little bit early spring, late fall. And the refrigerator over here. Currently, Jayco only offering the gas electric fridge. However, they're finally starting to be, they're like, hey, what if we offered a 12-volt fridge? So I need to get some feedback for Jayco. Would you folks like to see a 12-volt refrigerator in one of these? I think a lot of people are going to say yes, especially when you learn that, of course, this RV has an onboard generator, as well as the fact that it has some roof solar standard to it to help keep the batteries topped off. That solar package, by the way, actually has a dual charge controller. It will trickle charge the chassis battery so that, you know, if the RV's in storage for a while, you don't go to turn the key ignition and it goes and dies on you. By the way, going is what my brain does whenever I need to start using words with my wife and explaining my actions. She's like, why did you do that? And I'm like, anyway. Maybe that's just my life. I don't know. Now, obviously, I bumped that cushion on the little spin-around seat right there, but you get the idea that those are spin-around seats. And they give you the booster seat so you don't feel like you're hovering just above the floor level on this one. I do love that big. It's like a 8.9 inch or something like that, almost a 9-inch diagonal display on this. So the cool thing is they're doing a lot of Apple CarPlay and Android Auto now. So basically, you're just going to sync your phone to it, and like you can watch your map app right on that big screen, so you can spend more time with your eyes on the road and less time with your eyes on the phone. That right there being a key safety detail. Now, we'll see the dinette down in sleeper mode in just a minute. Let's actually, speaking of sleepers, best in class quality right here, 750-pound overhead rated overhead cab bed thing. I can't talk. You know what I'm saying, right? Like those words in any order, I think you can parse what I'm saying. Of course, we have, power side mirrors. We're on the Ford E450 chassis. It's got that 7.3 liter V8 Godzilla engine. More power, more torque, and actually, interestingly, a little bit better fuel economy than what we were seeing out of some of their engine work in the past. But like I said, we've got a couple different things we can look at here. Let's actually start over here in what is actually, interestingly, like a big mega slide. I call it that because you have a big U-dinette, a huge chunk of personal storage space in the middle, and notice that you also have those drawers below that power Murphy bed. And there are so many floor plans in the towable RV industry that I look at, and I'm like, man, what if you could build this with like a Murphy bed in the slide? But most towable RVs haven't really cracked the code. Maybe this power Murphy bed system might be just the thing the RV designer ordered to make that happen. I would love to see some towable models with some tall slides making that happen. The one trick is I think you can't really have the tallest power Murphy bed in a slide because, again, this is a short mattress, but that does really seem to be the default in the motorized industry. Looking at the farmhouse decor today, that is a big microwave. It's not convection, but it is residential sized over there. And then, you know what? I think we're good moving our way past the Jumbotron into the rear bathroom here. One of the other nice things, let's say you're on that bed and you don't want somebody to lawn chair you. You can key lock that thing. So when, you know, if you've got like a little guest, a little grandkid or something like that, or if just, you know, a buddy who likes to harass you a little bit, you can make sure that you're not getting, you know, dumped into that thing. Or if you're sitting on the sofa, somebody can't reach around the corner from the bathroom and crush you like the kids in the hall would crush people, you know, with their fingers and whatnot. Anybody, aren't the kids in the hall back on Hulu? I need to look that up. Anyway, remember I talked about the taller ceiling. That is where this becomes extremely beneficial. You may have noticed both the kitchen sink and the bathroom sink stainless. I love that shelf space right there with that little cutaway. A lot of toilet paper action going on in that vicinity. And the when you slide the privacy door out of the way, very surprising, fluffy, friendly space around that toilet. Now, as we work our way up here, you notice there's also some serious linen storage going on, but it does kind of surprise me how many motorized RVs, given their budget, are still utilizing the technical term for this, by the way, is the dollar store 4-inch fart fan. That a very, very technical term, obviously. And then we've got like this double vanity Lipitorage storage galore station going on right here. And you know what? I'm just going to Michael Jackson moonwalk backwards, try not to fall down in anything. And I'm going to pull this slide closed so we can see what we can access on the road. And it suddenly became like Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom the way it closed in here. But the good news is, other than the sofa, actually, it's very comfortably walkable in here. The question I had is, I was like, ooh, are we able to put that Murphy bed down in transit, even if it comes right up to the fireplace? And the short answer, no. No, you cannot. Actually, the Murphy bed is disabled when the slide is closed. I learned that just now when I personally attempted to check things out. But as you see here, we can very easily navigate back to the bathroom. If you're overnighting, if you're moonlighting somewhere, you know, if you need to take a shower, you just need to use the bathroom. You just need to rub the sleep out of your eyes. You can do that here pretty darn easily. Although, again, to use the rear bed, you will need to open the slide. Remember, though, up front, we do have a 750-pound rated bed, and the way motorhomes work, if you did need to utilize this space for sleeping in transit, you can do that with the slide closed. So even if, like, let's say you're like, there's no way two of us are going to fit in that bed there. Put one there, put one there. You don't even need to open the slides, and you can make it overnight. Or if you've got maybe one or two other people with you, you might be able to make it through a travel stop. Although, again, cool thing about a motorhome, a lot of times you can just park out in the middle of nowhere and open the slide out and be able to effectively run the RV when you're just sitting in the middle of nowhere. So on the topic of road mode, let's talk ride and handling, because one of the key things with a motorized RV as compared to like a towable RV is that with a motorhome, getting there is just as important as being there. And in a towable RV, like the vacation only starts after you got there, after you get unhitched and leveled and everything. Motorhome vacation starts the moment we turn that key. Road trip, baby. You know, that's when the fun kicks in. Now, as long as I'm over here, I'm gonna actually jump away from ride and handling real quick to point out the Awning 4000 generator that's standard on these. Again, this being a 30 amp service coach that gives you the ability to fully power the RV anywhere you're parking. And by the way, that is your side view camera right down there, right next to the, just above ground level basically, giving you the best view if you are flipping on that turn signal and all that good safety stuff, nice and standard on these. Thankfully, that big infotainment screen we saw inside, that's where that'll kick in. So ride and handling. Well, first of all, this has a fully computer balanced drive shaft because this is a stretched chassis. So this is a van chassis where somebody cut it in the middle and then put a big ol' extra chunk, think of it like Legos, and then it has to go through an upfit process. Now that process sounds very scary, but that's actually not an uncommon thing in the world, of chassis. You've also got front and rear stabilizer bars, so if you get hit by a wicked crosswind or something like that, it won't try to blow you off the road. You've also got Hellwig helper springs soaking up a lot of that road chatter and just basically helping give you a smoother experience with less crunch every time you hit a bounce. You also have rubber isolation mounts, and if you don't know what that is, it's hard to just point at an RV and talk about it. But where the body of the RV over here is built on top of the chassis, where they meet, for lack of a better way of saying it, they got hockey pucks in there. And Jayco hates it when I say it that way, but it's the most obvious way I can describe it. And what that will do is just soak up a lot of little road vibrations so that it's not rat-a-tat-tatting the whole time on the inside of the RV. Now, in this little compartment, you've got your solar prep point down here, and I think I mentioned inside the RV has solar. The RV can have solar. They have an optional 190-watt solar package. That's my mistake. I'm sorry. We're looking at one that is prepped here with a roof prep plug as well, but outside TV hookups additionally. Moving our way back, this is something I think is very, very cool. You just don't find a lot of motorhomes that have a cool camp kitchen arrangement like this, and especially considering that, this one has a Murphy bed inside. I think that's probably why it's speaking to me so much. I have so much experience and a pedigree in towable RVs, and I'm seeing a lot of very awesome, very popular towable concepts finally effectively applied into motorized here. Now again, none of this is necessarily the first of its kind. None of this is original, but it hasn't really been done very well in this category very often before. One of those other best-in-class qualities here, and there are a few other brands that match this now, but for the longest time, Jayco was unopposed in this way. It is a true 7,500-pound tow rating with a 750-pound tongue weight. There are still some manufacturers of Class Cs out there that have a 7,500-pound rated hitch, but only a 5,000-pound tow rating, And to get anything else, what you have to do is use an external weight distribution system. Now, that might not be a problem for a lot of people, but for some people, like, I don't want to have to monkey with all that extra stuff. If I wanted to have to deal with specialty hitching, I would have just gotten a truck and a towable RV in the first place, you know? Slide awnings are standard on these just to help give you that extra protection, and I do love that they do actually include a permanently mounted roof ladder, but if you want to get up there and make sure everything's cleared off or check on something after a windy day, you can do that too. Got our black tank flush, outside hot-cold utility shower over here. When the slides open, some of those compartments, you're definitely on your hands and knees to get to them, but I wanted to take some time to showcase a couple things over here. Pardon me. First of all, notice how a lot of these doors have had that drop-down drawbridge cable. Personally, I really like that. But if you don't, all you got to do is pull that little pin, and it'll drop right down all the way for you. No big deal. This is access to behind the headboard area of the power Murphy bed. So God forbid something goes wonky with the motor, or if like you drop your phone or something like that, you can actually get in here to retrieve that stuff. And then behind the dresser drawers in that big middle storage box, basically in the slide, you have an extra little outside storage space. Now, it's not gas threaded, so just like you're seeing, Obi-Wan Kenobi or Casper the Ghost might close that thing, but at least if the wind catches that, it's not going to go kablam and like smack against the side of the RV. So sometimes it doesn't have to be much, it just has to be enough to prevent me from damaging my own rig, which I'm very capable of doing with my idiot self. So once again, let me know what you think. I like this. I like this. One of the only drawbacks that I find on like the E450 chassis series is just that with my long legs, I have a hard time fitting in the cab. But that's just one of those things that I think you almost need to try it on like a pair of pants for size and see how they fit. Now, as you can see, we are slowly rebuilding our motorized inventory here. It's been a slow process as chassis shortages have been a very real problem. But I happen to have a brand new 29XK Redhawk right here over my shoulder. I'd like to hear from you folks. Is that one that you'd like to see me get on camera for you? I've only got so much time, and you drive this channel, and you could drive that coach. So when you're ready, we're ready. And remember, we carry Jaycos at a lot of our Bish's RV locations. So take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.